Hi guys, and welcome to another Kamikaze creation video. It has been a while, Christmas period. Finally got my bout of the old virus and starting to recover, feel a bit better, and getting into the shed and doing a few jobs. So I've been working on the old girl, mainly on the tune on the engine, just getting it to idle and run, and she's a bit of a mixed bag, this motor. With a few of the parts in it, but that Bathurst head on top of it from HSD down in Melbourne, Head Stud Development, it seems to be fairly responsive to acceleration on the motor. I haven't had out driving, just in the shed and sort of just running it in. I'm still just running the single valve springs on it, just to reduce the load on the lifters and the cam while I run it in, and it all seems to be pretty good so far. I've got the distributor set at about 8 to 10 degrees at the moment. It's a bit of a pig when it's cold, but once it warms up it seems to run quite well. Anyway, I'll show you a bit about it. I'll get it up and running and let you have a listen to it, and see where we go from there. Check out the shed dust on the poor old girl. You know, beautiful new paint job on her, but I've let the dust collect on it while she's been in the shed, and it's added a fair bit of value, I'd say. Bonnet's looking pretty ugly. Can't wait to get it under motion, move it out of the shed and give it a bit of a wash. Up inside here, I've got the dash out at the moment. Mainly because I'm running that M20 gearbox instead of the Celica gearbox that I had behind it originally, and I've bought a new Speedo cable to match up with the M20, and I've got to fit that up to it, so I'll just run that through when it comes. It hasn't got here, it should be here next week, and I'll be able to run that through, and that's another job. I've also bought some gearbox oil, because I haven't put oil in the gearboxes yet, and I just need to do a little bit of work on the linkages, because it was a bit funny in the linkage movement when I did have a go at it. I'll also show you up underneath it. So you can see there I'm running, it was from Castle Main Rod Shop, I think, that adapter that adapted that cable to the Celica box. So that'll all come out, the cable will come out, and we'll hook up the new cable, which will go direct into the box. I've also been working on the exhaust. Because I was running the supercharger on this before, I had a catalytic converter in there, and I put a new exhaust on my ute, a 3-inch exhaust on my ute, and had this 2.5-inch stuff left over. So I've fashioned up a bit of an exhaust to get her out of the shed and get it onto the street. It'll probably need a little bit of work, maybe, but it sounds pretty good now, running straight out of the extractors, and it only runs up to the diff at this stage, stops up at the diff, but it's all working reasonably well. As you can hear, the old thermos are working a treat down there. It's sensing about 78 degrees. They drop out about 75, 70 degrees. Well, that's it, guys. It is running quite nice. I'm really impressed, especially when it gets up to temperature. It runs really nicely. I've still just been fiddling with the idle, but when it gets to temperature, it just sits there nicely and lopes away. Very, very happy with that. I have, in the last video I did, it was a pain in the neck fiddling with that drive shaft and finding out it was too short, but I have purchased a new 6-cylinder drive shaft from not too far away. I think it was down in the Hunter Valley, and that's been shipped to me, and I should get that probably this week coming as well. I went down to Sydney first, and the tracking status says it's in Sydney at the moment, so she'll come up within a day or two and I'll be able to fit that up. The difference between that drive shaft, sorry for shaking there, the difference between that drive shaft that's in it and the one I've bought is about 25 mil, and that's about all I needed. It'll work with the one that was in there, but just having that extra 25 mil of spline up inside the gearbox definitely will give it a bit safer drive. So that's where it's at, guys. Not far. Hopefully the next video you'll see me backing it out of the shed and getting a bit of suds on it and giving it a clean off. And I was just talking to my wife about it because I was planning on selling it. I've got a few things I want to do, but that's going to be a really difficult decision. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I really like the car, but I have a few plans that the money would be very good for, and so I'd say she will probably go. And it's been a good project. Having it back together the way it is now, it's been through a heap of stuff. As you'd see if you'd follow through, there's, I don't know, 30 or 40 videos on this car. She's definitely an open book. If anyone's interested in it, you can send me, just throw a comment out, or, you know, get in contact with me somehow if you are interested. I'm not putting any prices on it at the moment, but just have a look at out there, what's available, and you'll work it out. Anyway, take care. I'm looking forward to that next video and actually backing it out of the shed. See you guys.